Okay, let me talk about Chris.
Chris.
Chris Michaels.
Chris. Chris is he's the newest member, really.
Chris has the ugliest accent I've ever heard. I hate the way he talks.
Chris Michaels could best be described as a cheap fortune teller at a local carnival.
If he's in a debate and he thinks that he might not have the upper hand, then he's gonna go ahead and throw out some false scholarship there just to back up his ideas that are untrue.
Sometimes things Chris says really hurt.
So I don't know what he does during the day.
Chris likes to talk about bikes,
He's apparently a professional mountain biker.
make fun of people's bikes.
Pro mountain bike licensed.
Pro mountain bike licensed, according to Facebook.
Big professional mountain biker.
Fix on bikes, work on bikes.
I've yet to see any evidence of it.
Chris, why don't you go for a run or a little bike ride or something? And
He says he rides his bike a lot. I don't really see him do it.
I don't know. You know, I don't know what he does.
Chris is the most like me in the house because
Him and I share a very deep, geeky, dorky connection in that we both love video games and we both love Star Wars.
Chris and I's relationship could best be described as parasitic.
we don't go to school, you know? Who cares? We just like to play our video games.
The boy leeches onto me.
He's gonna be slaughtering chickens.
I wouldn't be surprised if he killed a policeman someday.
Chris is just now getting his taste for slaughter.
Chris loves to get
And 10
Deep
years
ground
from
beef,
now,
makes tacos or
hum of the
sloppy joes or
machinery and
spaghetti.
the smell of
And he calls it all
poultry
protein
is
mania.
gonna be
Chris
a
tough.
big bowl
It's
of
not
meat
the best of cooks.
and a big bowl of beans.
I mean,
and put them together.
If you
and an
have
even
one
bigger
name for a
bowl of
meal
meat
and yet that meal
beans.
changes all the time,
Chris likes to eat until he's about
then
to
you are
throw
not
up,
a very versatile cook.
and then he just pops a
You
little
should-
Rolade and goes
You
to
should pick a
bed.
name for each one of his meals, and that way we can at least be able to distinguish them. Because if we're having house dinner and he says, I'm going to be making Protein Mania, I have no idea what he's talking about.
Chris and I also kind of butted heads. I'd say we were at the forefront of the house heating issue.
And he calls it all Protein Mania. Chris is not the best of cooks.
Chris likes to eat until he's about to throw up.
Big thighs. He's got some nice, big thighs.
And then he just pops a little Rolade and goes to bed.
First time I met Chris, he told me stories about crackheads in Buffalo.
Chris has a really narrow definition of manliness.
And he's gained a lot of weight as a result. He doesn't get outside much. He's pretty pasty.
He just got his hair cut into a mullet,
You know, more power to you, Chris.
which is pretty awesome. I respect the mullet.
If you don't wear flannel and you don't work in a steel mill and you don't eat red meat, then you don't really meet Chris's criteria.
This is definitely a ladies' man.
And Chris says, it hurts my feelings.
Yeah, Chris is kind of a paradox in that, you know, he likes to put off this image of being really hard and athletic and standoffish,
But deep down inside, Chris is softy.
but he reads fashion magazines and tabloids.
I'm pretty sure he sleeps with a teddy bear. I haven't seen it yet. I've looked, though. You can't find anything in that room.
Because you have me, I'm from Virginia Beach. I like it warm.
Peter hates being cold.
I hate being cold. That's a better way of saying it.
Chris is pretty gullible, actually.
He makes up a lot of statistics.
One time I told him that ketchup was actually blood, and that if you drink a bunch before a race, it's just like blood doping.
And then you have Chris. He's from Buffalo, New York, and he's also pretty cheap, so doesn't like paying for heat.
He did it, and he has acid reflux, and that ketchup did a number on him.
Chris sometimes fiddles with Isaac's things downstairs, like moves around Isaac's figurines that he has.
I have to say, yo, Chris, cut it out. Stop it.
But I won, so that's what matters.
Chris and I really have a lot in common because we're both white, and we have same color hair.
Chris Michaels will one day be a fiery Baptist preacher somewhere in the Deep South.
I don't think Chris is a very honest person with anyone. I don't think he has any true friends.